In Austin, I'm Mark Mullins. The State Board of Education is looking to change the ways public school teaches social studies. Some people worry the process is being driven too much by politics and not enough by educators. Daniel Perot explains.
The State Board of Education is pushing ahead with the social studies overhaul, planning for classes to focus more on Texas history and less on world history and cultures.
Students need to see both the remarkable achievements of our past as well as the painful failures.
Outside the board's meeting Wednesday, some board members, a faith leader, and students condemned the changes.
When you narrow what children see, you shrink what they can imagine. You rob them of empathy. You weaken the critical thinking our democracy depends on.
The new framework focuses on teaching students about key people, places, and events throughout Texas and U.S. history. From 3rd to 8th grades, lessons on the development of Western civilization are added in, but there's still a heavy emphasis on Texas and U.S. history. Currently, teachers focus on Texas history in the 4th and 7th grade and world cultures in the 6th grade.
I want the curriculum taught in my schools to represent all the communities that call this state home.
Asher, a public school 6th grader, says he worries the changes will be guided by politics.
We need an education that provides us with facts, how to think critically, and an honest understanding of where we've been so we can decide where we're going.
The board selected a panel of 9 advisors to offer feedback. Some of them have criticized diversity efforts, questioned the historical contributions of people of color, and promoted debunked beliefs. Among the advisors is David Randall, Executive Director of the Civics Alliance and Research Director of the National Association of Scholars, and conservative Christian activist David Barden, the founder of the Wall Builders Foundation, which emphasizes teaching America's history through a biblical lens. He also wrote a book that calls the church-state separation a myth.
Texans deserve content advisors who are trained historians, who are qualified educators, whose base of their work is built on sound academic scholarship.
A petition to try to remove 3 content advisors has more than 1,000 signatures as politically charged debate over how and what children should learn about history escalates.
And that was Daniel Perot reporting. Classroom implementation of the new guidelines is expected in 2030. Voters in the city of Kyle will head back to the polls next month to decide who their new mayor will be. On election night, no candidate on the ballot got more than 50% of the vote. So former city council members Yvonne Flores, Kale, and Robert Rizzo are headed to a runoff. Jessica Cha spoke to both of them about the final leg of this race.
Thousands of Kyle residents showed up on election day to pick a new mayor. After none of the 4 candidates got over 50% of the vote, the race continues. Here are the 2 people you'll see on the December ballot: Robert Rizzo and Yvonne Flores Kale. Rizzo is a 5th-generation Kyle resident and served 3 terms as a city council member and mayor pro tem.
That tells me my council believes in me as well, and they trust me. So I believe that the citizens, I've earned their trust, and I'll continue to lead with that same capacity.
Yvonne Flores Kale moved to Kyle in 2011. She works as a paralegal and was a council member in 2020.
I'm dedicated to the city, and I'm not even elected. You know, a lot of times, especially in his case, you can serve organizations, but I serve the people.
Both Rizzo and Flores Kale told us their priorities include improving roads and addressing water infrastructure. But they differ on how to find new water sources for the city's growing population. Rizzo says the city's already working with Alliance Water to expand their supply, but the work doesn't stop there.
We're looking at not being dependent on one sole water source. We're also looking at this desal plant down at the Gulf. So it's something else we're looking at. And we're also looking at water storage.
Flores Kale said that the cost of a desalination plant to boost supply could be too high. And so they need to make sure they're financing water supplies efficiently.
Our water bill alone we can't afford to pay it. So how do we make sure that the water that we bring in, such as if we bring in desal, is not going to bankrupt the lifelong Kyle residents?
Early voting for the runoff runs from December 1st through the 9th with a break on that Sunday. And Election Day is December 13th. In Kyle, Jessica Cha, KVUE News.
Central Health and the Central Texas Food Bank are rolling out a new program this week, delivering medically tailored meals to patients with chronic conditions. Brianna Perez shows us how the pilot program is using food to fight illness and hunger.
Happy to have you. More. Turning meals into medicine, Central Health is looking for new ways to improve patient health from the inside out.
Providing care for our patients in a medical environment, but then releasing them back to their home, knowing that they don't have the types of food they need to support their chronic conditions. And it was just becoming very cyclical.
It's a cycle they are trying to break through their new Food is Medicine program. Megan Sturmack, Senior Director of Public Health Strategy for Central Health, says it aims to deliver medically tailored meals to chronic patients who struggle to access healthy food.
If you're extremely vulnerable and need, a renal-friendly diet, or you've just been released from surgery and you have very specific needs to meet your GI tract, these meals are going to keep them on the path to recovery and out of a cyclical cycle of readmittance into the hospital.
Cermak says about half of the patients they serve face food insecurity. Through the program, they plan to provide meals to 600 of them.
Each meal is customized to meet the patient's medical needs. Participants can get 7 frozen meals a week for 8 weeks. Officials say it's the first of its kind approach to managing chronic illness through nutrition.
In partnership with the Central Texas Food Bank, officials say the program, funded by the Central Health Innovation Fund, has helped 20 patients so far. With the holidays approaching, Cermak says the timing was just right for the rollout.
Our community is facing crisis levels of food insecurity. And so to be able to roll out this program the week of Thanksgiving is just so significant and timely, because not only are we getting our patients on the path to recovery and healing, but also making the holidays a little bit more special for the people that we can.
Long-term, Cermak says she hopes the program will help better manage chronic illnesses and reduce hospital readmissions. In Austin, Brianna Bettis, KVUE News.
Well, 2 historic theaters in Austin are getting restored and preserved. The nonprofit that runs the Paramount and State Theaters announced their Shine On campaign. The Austin Theater Alliance is trying to raise $65 million to revitalize both buildings. These renderings show what the changes could look like. The Paramount has been around for 110 years, and the State Theater is 90 years old. A number of changes are planned. Historic elements will be restored, infrastructure will be updated, and seats, sound, and lighting will undergo modernization. Some work is already underway, but the Paramount's full restoration project will start in June of next year, and work on the State Theater will begin in summer of 2027. Downtown Austin is getting a new tradition to help drum up some midweek business. Why Not Wednesdays kicked off in the Red River Cultural District. 1 ticket for $11 will get you into 4 venues along that stretch of road, including Stubbs, the 13th Floor, Chess Club, and Feels So Good. Future events will happen the 3rd Wednesday of every month. Well, those are the headlines in Austin. I'm Mark Mullins.